Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling.
The truth has a remarkable way of breaking through even the heaviest silence. And tonight, the world is listening to a story that changes everything we thought we knew about a beloved star. The official narrative surrounding the sudden departure of the brilliant Menglong on September the 11th, 2025 in Beijing has been completely overturned. For months, the public was told a simple, tragic story of an accidental misstep following an industry gathering, a closed file that left millions of hearts aching with unanswered questions. But the shadows have finally parted, and a stunning, newly surfaced recorded testimony from the individual known to the public as LRA has completely reshaped the timeline, transforming a closed file into a historical awakening. This is not just an update on a public figure. It is the revelation of a profound legacy, a testament to an artist who stood firmly by his principles in a world of compromise. Welcome to Update X 24 Hours, where tonight we look beyond the headlines to discover how one pure voice refused to be diminished, and how a community's dedication has ignited a global movement for transparency that cannot be stopped. The original accounts provided by official channels suggested a straightforward incident at a luxury residence, but the newly uncovered testimony reveals a deeply intricate gathering at the Co-Art Museum Annex, where 17 influential figures from the upper echelons of the entertainment sector had assembled. What was initially presented as a celebratory evening was, in reality, a pivotal confrontation centered around a data drive possessed by Menglong, a repository of information that represented absolute integrity against systemic compromise. In her extensive multi-hour recording, LRA, who had long portrayed herself as a trusted confidant, speaks with a mixture of profound exhaustion and psychological unraveling, detailing how the atmosphere shifted from artificial elegance to intense pressure. Rather than depicting Menglong as a helpless participant, this new perspective highlights his extraordinary resilience, as he chose to safeguard his values and protect the futures of aspiring talents whose journeys had been compromised by industry gatekeepers. He stood in that room not as a casualty of circumstance, but as a guardian of truth, facing a collective of directors, investors, and public figures who had long operated above accountability. This extraordinary revelation gains immense depth when examined through the lens of independent analytical groups, most notably the dedicated collective known as the Shadow Sisters. These independent investigators compiled an exhaustive 40-page forensic and environmental report that systematically dismantled the initial findings, cross-referencing precise weather data, structural angles, and local acoustic recordings to prove that an accidental fall was physically impossible. When paired with LRA's own admission of the intense pressure applied on that balcony, the narrative shifts from a sudden tragedy to a moment of historical defiance. New insights suggest that the data drive in question contained not just local administrative records, but evidence of highly sophisticated global networks where art acquisitions were used to obscure unethical transactions. Menglong's refusal to participate in these practices was a direct challenge to a structure built on silence, making his final moments a profound stance for justice. The emotional weight of this realization has sent shockwaves through the global community, transforming grief into an active, positive pursuit of structural reform across the creative industries. To truly understand the impact of this event, we must look at the unprecedented ways the global community is choosing to honor his memory and carry his mission forward. In addition to standard digital tributes, a beautifully coordinated international initiative has emerged, where musicians from London to Seoul are collaborating to complete the unfinished compositions Menglong left behind, turning his unreleased notes into symphonies of hope. Furthermore, grassroots organizations are establishing independent foundations in his name to provide legal safeguard resources and mental health support for young creatives entering the entertainment industry, ensuring that no aspiring artist ever has to stand alone against systemic pressure. Digital artists have illuminated public spaces with massive projection-mapped murals that depict a soaring phoenix rising from the architectural landscapes of Beijing, symbolizing a legacy that illuminates the darkness. The conversation has evolved far beyond a singular investigation. It has become a global cultural shift where fans and truth seekers use encrypted networks and independent journalism to ensure that authentic talent is celebrated and protected. Every detail emerging from LRA's leaked admission paints a picture of contrasting worlds, where the brilliant lights of fame clash directly with the quiet dignity of a man who loved his art above all else. According to the extended recordings, the gathering inside the Art Museum Annex was not a random social event, but a carefully structured meeting designed to bring Menglong into compliance with long-standing industry networks. Witnesses and close associates have noted that in the weeks leading up to this evening, the young artist had shown visible signs of distress, which were carefully managed by public relations teams, but did not escape the watchful eyes of his global support network. His tremulous gestures during public appearances and the subtle shifts in his vocal performances were early indicators of a profound internal struggle against unseen pressures. LRA admits that she utilized his profound trust in her to guide him into this gathering, acting as a bridge between his innocent aspirations and the complex, demanding expectations of the industry's senior decision-makers who sought to control his rapid international trajectory. The confrontation itself escalated through distinct phases, beginning with subtle psychological questioning regarding his loyalty to the established structures that had supported his early career. When Menglong maintained his steadfast position regarding the transparency of his upcoming international projects and the preservation of his independent creative rights, the tone of the room transformed into one of collective enforcement. The presence of 17 distinct individuals representing major production houses, investment syndicates, and administrative oversight bodies was intended to create an overwhelming sense of isolation. Yet, the testimony reveals that the young artist remained remarkably articulate and calm, refusing to surrender the digital drive that contained documented interactions regarding the systemic mismanagement of young talents. This resistance created an intense impasse, challenging the absolute authority that these individuals had exercised for decades without question, and setting in motion a sequence of events that would ultimately shatter the industry's facade of flawless glamour. The physical environment of the penthouse suite, with its extensive caskets of rare historical artifacts and modern luxury, served as a stark backdrop to a situation where human values were treated as secondary to institutional power. The independent forensic reconstruction indicates that a prolonged disagreement occurred within the private perimeter of the balcony, directly contradicting the early official timeline that claimed an instantaneous accident due to personal carelessness. Acoustic experts analyzing background ambient files from neighboring properties identified specific frequencies indicating a collective effort to suppress communication during those crucial late-night hours. LRA's description of the final moments on the ledge reflects a profound psychological realization that Menglong could not be broken or integrated into their system, leading to a desperate, coordinated action to remove his influential voice from the public sphere entirely. This act, meant to preserve their silence, instead created an indelible echo that has reverberated through every corner of the global media landscape. The subsequent management of the incident by local administrative bodies was incredibly rapid, with statements prepared and distributed to major news outlets before a comprehensive examination of the location could be completed. This immediate closure of the investigation was designed to prevent the public from questioning the integrity of the individuals involved, many of whom possess significant influence over national cultural projects and media distribution channels. However, the speed of the official response served as the primary catalyst for public skepticism, prompting thousands of independent researchers to begin their own meticulous documentation. The resulting groundswell of public interest has effectively neutralized the extensive censorship efforts as information continues to replicate across decentralized digital networks, ensuring that every piece of evidence remains accessible to the international community. The cultural ramifications of this case are transforming the entire landscape of contemporary entertainment, as aspiring artists worldwide begin to find the courage to voice their own experiences with institutional pressure. Production companies are facing unprecedented scrutiny from corporate sponsors who are increasingly reluctant to be associated with projects linked to the classical networks of influence currently under investigation. Menglong's entire discography has experienced a profound resurgence, with his songs being interpreted not merely as popular entertainment, but as profound declarations of independence and ethical strength. Educational institutions are integrating discussions of this event into media ethics curricula, using it as a definitive case study on the importance of protecting individual creative rights against collective exploitation. The global response has also manifested in significant legal pressures, with international legal bodies receiving formal petitions to review the administrative transparency of the initial investigation process. In response to this sustained public interest, several prominent figures named in the extended transcripts have chosen to step down from their administrative roles, citing personal reasons, though public opinion widely recognizes these departures as a direct consequence of the ongoing revelations. The financial stability of major entertainment conglomerates is shifting as audiences consciously choose to redirect their support toward independent creators who demonstrate a commitment to authentic and transparent practices. This economic pressure is proving to be one of the most effective tools for structural change, forcing the industry to reconsider its foundational operations. As we consider the future of this movement, the focus remains firmly on the preservation of the values that Menglong championed throughout his life. The ongoing efforts to locate and fully verify the remaining fragments of the digital drive represent a shared commitment to total clarity, ensuring that the sacrifices made by this extraordinary artist result in a permanent shift toward a safer, more equitable, creative environment for all. The story continues to evolve day by day, with each new piece of information reinforcing the realization that the power to demand truth resides ultimately with the global community of listeners and supporters who refuse to let a great light be extinguished. As the legal and moral architecture of this case continues to unfold, with reports of quiet restructuring within administrative departments and the freezing of assets belonging to the implicated individuals, the ultimate victory belongs to the power of collective remembrance. Menglong did not merely leave behind a void. He ignited a global beacon of integrity that continues to guide millions toward a fairer, more transparent world. Thank you for staying informed with us here on Update X 24 Hours. And if you wish to stand with us as we continue to follow this historic journey toward justice, please do take a moment to subscribe to the channel, like this broadcast, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support is the vital energy that keeps the light of truth burning bright, and we look forward to welcoming you in our next update as we remember a star who will always shine.